Going on, people? I'm Aslan. I'm going to be reviewing the BO6 Gobblegums and placing them in a tier list based on their current performance. This is being made right at the start of Season 1. I will make updates as more gums get added in bulk, and I'll be going through them by rarity, so we're not going to be starting from S tier and moving down to F. If you're a person who doesn't watch the video and wants to just complain in the comments, here's the full list, so you can just go and do that. Anyway, let's start this off with stock option. Stock option lasts 3 minutes. Ammo is taken from the player's stockpile instead of their weapon's magazine. This gum is useful in niche scenarios where reloading is inconvenient. So for stuff like camo grinding with pistols and snipers, I find it very effective. I could see this being used for boss fights as well. You want to lay into them and do a lot of damage without having to reload. You can do that with stock option. You can also do it with free fire, but we'll get onto that later. You know, it does its job well, but it's not exactly an important one. So I think this is a pretty confident C. Next is Killjoy. This one is pretty basic. It just spawns an insta-kill power-up, which lasts 30 seconds as usual. Basic, you know, but its strength comes from its rarity. It goes well with a Temporal Gift, which we'll get onto later. This could fluctuate in usefulness based on what gun you're using or like what special enemies might be added down the line. But at the end of the day, you can't say no to a free insta-kill. And for that, I'm pretty confident this remains in A tier. Anywhere but here. This gum allows the player to instantly teleport to a random location. A concussive blast knocks away nearby zombies. This gum is a good final resort for when other anti-down crushes have been expended. Again, like most blue gums that I like, its strength comes from its rarity. You get a lot of these, like I've got 26 of these. There are some rare cases where this actually becomes F tier, because this could just teleport you a few meters away or to somewhere even more dangerous, so effectively you have to take the down and potentially end your game. However, this is also a bit of a wild card for Easter egg speedrunners. Let's say you're on Liberty Falls and you have to get the final canister, right? So you put your first canister in the church and then the final one is available back at spawn. You can pop anywhere but here from the church and actually save time no matter what, because the church is at the top of the map and the canister is at the bottom of the map. So you're saving time no matter what. This is a game changer for stuff like that. You could teleport right next to the canister, you could teleport to the bank, but those few seconds could be the make or break. For that, I feel like this gum is a very comfortable A tier. Right, next up we got Cashback. This spawns a max ammo power up. Just like Killjoy, very basic, its strength comes from its rarity, but we also have to discuss the fact that since Cold War, it has become less useful, because now Treyarch have ammo boxes on the map, which can be bought infinitely. You run out of ammo, you go there, you pay a couple thousand points, you're back up to speed. But can't say no to a free max ammo, especially if you're in a pinch and you need the ammo. Let's say your jet gun's broken and you need that jet gun to get back up to speed, you'll pop one of these and you'll be fine. There's also the fact that this might become more useful if classic mode comes, which would move it to A tier, because the assumption is with classic mode, Treyarch removing certain Cold War elements like the ammo boxes, which I think is very likely if classic mode is likely. But for now, this has to stay in B tier. I do still use this a lot. I mean, look, I have 9 of these. I used to have a lot more. I've been popping them because why not? But still, it is a bit less powerful now in Black Ops 6. Next up is Temporal Gift. Activates on next time-based power-up. The next time-based power-up lasts longer. This is a workhorse gum. It drops often, so it should be used often. The benefits it gives you do matter. You have to use this Gobblegum. It's insane, especially in early rounds when you get double points and an insta-kill. You can work through. You can get 2 rounds worth of double points if you're very effective with the way you use this Gobblegum. It's not very. It doesn't do a lot. Like a lot of these Gobblegums that everyone loves to go crazy over, they do things. You know, Perkaholic gives you all the perks, and everyone obviously loves that. But this actually, I love using this Gobblegum. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. It's in a perfect spot, and it shouldn't change at all. If they add more time-based power-ups, this gum is only gonna get more useful. Next up is Arsenal Accelerator. This lasts 5 minutes and it basically just allows you to charge your field upgrade faster. Now obviously a buff to any type of charge rate is good. Its weakness comes from the fact that it takes up a slot on your hotbar that could go to something more useful. Maybe if they buff the charge rate, this could become a game changer for certain camping strats or maybe even Easter egg steps. But for now, this is just feeling like a C tier to me. I do use it sometimes. I mean, I've got 24 of them, but I don't really notice it. It's just C tier. And similar for shields up. This lasts 3 minutes and it refills your armor on use with armor that is twice as strong. The double plate strength is actually noticeable, but the slot isn't worth the convenience of just plating up while you're shooting your gun. It definitely does get its uses, it's just overpowered by other gums. If it was to also fill up your reserve plates with an additional 3 no matter how much you have, so essentially giving you extra plates, this would be a solid B tier gum, maybe even A, but for now I'm putting this in C. Now we're on epic and we're starting off with Who's Keeping Score, another basic gum. This just spawns a double points power up. You can't say no to a free double points. Unlike its rare siblings, this is an actual flexible gobblegum because it works with so many gums. You could pop a Temporal Gift, pop a Killjoy, and then potentially have a teammate pop profit sharing. You will have so many points in 1 minute. Even if it's a bad time to pop this, you can run around the map and prone on all the perk machines to get up to 1,800 points. Liberty Falls also has a Easter egg where you can just shoot something and get a bonus points, so that makes it 2,800. And then again, stack that with profit sharing, it also gives more to your teammates. Very solid S. It's a double points. Like, you're gonna say no to a double points? No. Next is Free Fire. This lasts 60 seconds. Firing weapon consumes no ammo. Does not work with wonder weapons. Very similar to stock option, so it has the same uses as stock option. It does beat it though because it can be used on empty guns. The fact that it can't be used on wonder weapons is a negative, but I saw a clip on Twitter where somebody got the Sigma, packer punched it, went into the boss fight on Terminus, and then just emptied the rocket. Well, they didn't empty it because they didn't use any ammo, but they just kept firing it and the boss died in like seconds. So this is insane for speedrunners. But how often are you going to really be wanting to do that? Not very often, but it is still very strong. I am putting it in B tier, but this is an insane gum for those little niche scenarios, and I can't deny that. Moving on to Nowhere But There. When a teammate is downed, you pop this, and it allows you to instantly teleport to that downed player and revive people within that radius. This is only useful in co-op games, obviously. However, it's still useful enough to be a B. Being able to revive teammates instantly without compromising yourself is always a plus. It also allows the player to be given a break from the action by leading the zombies away from their downed teammate and then popping this to revive them and having a chance to run off together and maybe get them set up again. It does suck that it doesn't revive all downed players, because if you pay close attention, it revives downed players near you. So let's say 2 of your teammates are down and you have this. If you pop this and they're on opposite sides of the map, one of them is going up and one of them is staying down. This is definitely B tier. Moving on to Soda Fountain. This activates on your next perk purchase, and the next perk you purchase gives an additional random perk as you drink it. This is the time where I bring up a point you might find me repeating a bit when discussing similar gums to this one. With the perk limit being removed in Cold War, extra perk Gobblegums have been given one less reason to be useful. Soda Fountain used to be a wise man's Perkaholic. It effectively worked the same way and was less rare, meaning you could save the Perkaholics that you did get on more pressing matters. It needed to be used wisely from the start to get the most value. Now you could just use it and benefit from it no matter what, which is kind of a buff. But the benefit is reduced due to the perk limit being gone. Still though, the benefit is enough for it to be A tier. If Classic Mode brings back the perk limit, this will be an immediate S tier because of its rarity. This is less rare than it was in Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 3, this used to be legendary. It's now epic, which is why I have 13 of them. I've got a lot of these. So if Classic Mode does come back, I'll be eating good. S tier. Moving on to profit sharing. This lasts 2 minutes. A portion of the points that you earn is also received by players near you, and vice versa. It works both ways. Again, similar to Nowhere But There, This can only be used in co-op. By itself, it gets the job done and helps increase group wealth in the early rounds, and for that it would be a B tier. However, for reasons discussed before, this is an A tier gum. Double points, running on perk machines, like side Easter eggs that award points, like on Liberty Falls I already discussed, and then the Terminus basketball Easter egg. If you happen to get an insta kill or pop a killjoy, you can get more value out of it by hitting headshots and getting those kills quicker, because since Cold War, points per bullet is gone. So you have to get that kill to get the points. And again, if classic mode comes, this is more useful, because in classic mode, setting up will take longer. A tier. Next, we've got Respin Cycle. When you spin the box and you get something you don't like, you could pop this and it will spin again for free. To discuss this perk's effectiveness, we need to discuss the effectiveness of the mystery box. This gum is useless because the box has been kinda useless since Cold War. The box is only useful to me for using Wonderbar to get the ray gun or the whatever, right? Even then, what good is the ray gun if the GS45 is a wall buy? Again, if classic mode comes back, then the box could maybe become more useful, meaning this gun becomes more useful, and even then it might just bump it up to C tier. It's just a free box hit. Like, you kill 9 zombies and you can hit the box. This is a D tier gum, and so is exit strategy. This gum is quite funny. Activate exfil vote immediately and reduce zombie spawns during exfil. You can just use this on any round. You don't have to wait for like a specific round like you do with regular exfils. You can do this on like round 1 if you want. So it's quite funny for that. I wish its name was funnier to match it. Besides all that, this is literally just a quick game gum for people that want the extra XP for exfilling, even though they are quitting. It's a D tier. It's not a bad thing. I usually have this saved in one of my packs for when I'm playing with my friends and they want to stop. I do use this quite a lot actually, but it is still D tier. And that's all the epics done. Let's move on to legendaries, starting off with Idle Eyes. Idle Eyes lasts 30 seconds. All zombies ignore the players and stand idle. This is essentially an anywhere but here that won't kill you. What separates it from Ether Shroud is the fact that the zombies stay still. It's a very good option for when all other second chance options like Ether Shroud have been used. This is something you keep ready to pop when you're going for those higher rounds and have used all your quick revives. It is a game saver. It is S tier. Next up is Wall Power. This activates the next time you buy a gun off the wall and it just pack-a-punches it. Some of the best guns in the game are even better than the ray gun, and they're wall buys. So saving the money to get these pack-a-punched can be helpful for Easter egg speedruns. It's just helpful overall. I mean, you get a strong gun for free. What's there to complain about? Waiting for the wall buy to also up in rarity and then pairing it with this is beneficial as well. It does only save you 5,000 points, so like it is more effective on early rounds, because if you use it on a high round, you're going to still have to pack-a-punch it up to level 3 and spend all those points. But it's solid and it does its job, so it's a very solid B tier. Very useful for starting room challenges. Next is Phoenix Up. Very simple. Teammates are down, pop this, revive all of them, keep all their perks. This is essentially nowhere but here, but better. Except this time, it lets them keep their perks. To reflect that, it's rarer, extremely useful in tight situations, a game saver, S tier. Very simple, I mean, there's not much to say. Without this, if multiple teammates are down, you are in even more danger. With this, if one teammate is down, if 2 teammates are down, if 3 teammates are down, doesn't matter. You got Phoenix Up, use it. Next is Crate Power. This activates on a mystery box spin. The next weapon taken from the mystery box becomes pack-a-punched. Essentially, it's the same as Wall Power, but we also need to take what we said about Respin Cycle and apply it to this gum. With all that considered, I would seriously consider putting this in C. However, you can pair this with Wonderbar, since now you can hold up to 3 gums at a time. So, getting a guaranteed pack-a-punch jet gun goes a long way, especially for getting to high rounds quickly. In BO3, this is how it worked in BO3. You had to find a box location with a gun machine right next to it. You had to hit the box, pray that the box would give you what you want, and while doing that, you'd have to hit the gun machine and pray it would give you crate power, because it would activate automatically as soon as you pick the gun up from the box. So this just benefits from being able to stow gums in BO6, which makes it B tier, right next to its sister gum. Again, it only saves you 5k, but still, it's a B tier. Oh, okay, let's talk about On the House. On the House is very simple. It just spawns a random perk power up. Pick it up, it gives you a random perk. Like I said before, perk gums have become less useful with the removal of the perk limit, so it's unintentionally been nerfed. Like in BO3, if you were quite broke on Gobblegums but you had On the House, you'd buy your 4 perks and then you'd start popping On the House, right? But then also, On the House has increased in rarity. It used to be epic, right? It used to be purple in Black Ops 3, but now it's legendary in Black Ops 6. I mean, look, I've got 0 of these. I've got 0. So you get them less, and you also have less reason to use them. The only use you still have for On the House is for when you want to do a starting room challenge. Additionally, I ran a test and discovered that On the House doesn't proc Soda Fountain, which is really disappointing. I think it should. This makes it C tier. With some serious buffs, this can become an A tier Gobblegum. I think Treyarch needs to either give it 2 uses per gum or just decrease its rarity so we get more of them. Again, if classic mode is real and becomes a thing and the perk limit returns, this would go up to like an A tier, you know? You can't deny this gum when you have a 4 perk limit, or maybe it'll be like 6 perks or 5 perks. I don't know. If there is a perk limit, this automatically becomes more useful. But for now, it's in C tier. Next, wall-to-wall clearance. This lasts 30 seconds and all weapon wall buys for that time cost 10 points. This Gobblegum obviously has its uses, but quite honestly, one day we'll probably get shopping free, which is wall-to-wall clearance, but applied to everything. I don't know why this is legendary. I don't see a world where I'm like, yes, wall-to-wall clearance. You know, I've got 11 of them. I just think it should be lowered to epic in preparation for the inevitable day that shopping free comes back. So for that, it's a C tier. Next is Immolation Liquidation. This spawns a fire cell power up. Very basic. Similar to On the House, this perk has had its rarity increased from epic to legendary. So that's kind of a nerf. And then another nerf, its uses have been decreased from 3 to 1. You used to be able to spawn 3 fire cells. You'd chew it 3 times and it would spawn a fire cell, which you could combine all 3 of them to get a very long fire cell. Now you only get 1 and that's it. You can increase the timer of the fire cell with Temporal Gift though, which is why Temporal Gift is higher than this Gobblegum. We've already talked about how the box is not very useful on its own. If we were to apply Black Ops 6 rules to Black Ops 3, getting a dingo on round 3 from the box wouldn't matter because it would be a green rarity and it would suck in like 10 rounds. However, you can't say no to a free fire cell, especially in the cases where you need to hit the box. If you have a Wonderbar and or a crate power ready, but don't have a mystery box location near you and you can't get to a mystery box, you can pop this and have that box ready for you so you can guarantee yourself that Pack-a-Punch Wonder Weapon. Again, changes made to classic mode can make this more useful, but I still think it should either have its rarity decreased by 1 or bring back its 3 uses. Maybe the fire cell it drops should be a buffed fire cell that makes the weapons in the box epic tier. I don't know, it's multiple choice with this one honestly. For now though, it's in B tier, but it feels wrong because it should be S tier, but it's just the way it is. Moving on to the ultras and starting off with Perkaholic. I've made it very clear how I feel about the perk system in Black Ops 6. No perk limit. We've discussed how it affects Gobblegums like this. However, there are actually new benefits to using Perkaholic. You can pop it to ignore the rising price of perks for each perk that you buy. You can keep it stowed and pop it later down the line for when you go down and lose all of your perks. Besides all that as well, this gum is just priceless when it comes to Easter egg speedruns. You skip a ton of setup. You can now pop this and swap to another gum pack with more reusable gums. Honestly, the unintentional nerfs are heavily outweighed by the unintentional buffs. S tier. Perkaholic is great. You're basically cheating. Next is Near Death Experience. This lasts 3 minutes or 5 revives. You can revive people or be revived by being near them. And you also keep all your perks. Whether you revive or you get revived, you keep all your perks. This is kind of a hard nerf to this gum, but it just takes it from an S to an A. It used to last 3 rounds instead of 3 minutes. So the second you take it, you are on a very limited timer. This means you can't spin for near death before a boss fight and just have it ready to go. Yeah, Phoenix Up only has 1 use, but at least you're in full control of that use. Near death can just go to waste without you even noticing it. But for the times where it comes in use, It's undeniably good at what it does, and for that it's A tier. Moving on to Hidden Power. This allows you to just upgrade your currently held weapon to Legendary Rarity. It's ironic for me to put this at C tier because I actually like this Gobblegum a lot. I use it a lot right now on bad guns that I want to level up or get camos for, but besides that, it's quite useless. If you put a suppressor on your guns, you get salvage quick. You can fast track your rarity upgrades and be sorted by like round 20. Liberty Falls has the head Easter egg that gives you a free upgrade to blue, which then allows you to spend the salvage you already have to make it purple. This gum is automatically weighed up against crate power or wall power, and those ones just trump this gum. Pack-a-punching your gun increases the reserves and increases the mag, and the damage boost from Pack-a-punch is far greater than a boost to legendary. With some guns like the GS45 or the LR762, they become explosive. With this one, you can't change it. It's just the way it is, and I feel like once I have Nebula unlocked, this number right here, it's at 0 now because I do use it for like the baseball bat and snipers. This number will go up and up and up and up after I unlock Nebula. Moving on to Wonderbar. You can activate this on your next mystery box spin, and what it does is it gives you a wonder weapon for free. It's quite a simple gun. It's simply strong. You pop it, you hit the box, and you get a wonder weapon. The only downside is the fact that sometimes you get the other wonder weapon, the ray gun. But even then, I'll take a ray gun on most days, you know. It gives you basically a 50% chance to skip the wonder weapon quest. However, again, we need to look to the future and realize that Treyarch can possibly add new wonder weapons to the box in older maps. So if you look around on the internet, you'll probably see that the ray gun Mark II is possibly returning, and they've done it before where they add the wonder weapon later on to the game and retroactively put it in older maps, like the ray gun Mark II from Black Ops 2. They added it with Buried, but you can get it in town. Besides all that, it's still an S tier. Like you're getting a ray gun at least, you know. Like a ray gun's not bad, so I'll take it. S tier. Now we're gonna finish off with Raindrops. This spawns all the core power-ups at once. That is a nuke, bonus points, insta-kill, double points, max armor, all that good. I think gives you a full power as well. All that good stuff, right? It's actually had some changes made to it though since Black Ops 3, so let's go over them. So it drops all the power-ups, right? However, one of them has changed. Carpenter. Carpenter is no more, and now it's replaced with max armor. It can only be popped once. In Black Ops 3, you could pop this twice. It used to be less rare. It used to be purple. Now it's red. It's 2 tiers up from before. So those are straight up just nerfs to this gun. But the most interesting one is the fact that Carpenter is gone, and it's replaced by max armor. Because Carpenter used to actually give you 200 points, which meant skilled players would grab the double points first, and then proceed to grab the rest to get the point bonuses. You are now essentially 400 points more broke for using this gun, because double points combined with Carpenter will give you 400. It still doesn't matter that much though, it's not that deep. It's still extremely powerful and really good for early game or starting room challenges. It still has a place in A tier. Next are the Whimsicals. These are just going to be the only gums in F tier, because simply for the fact that they are single-use gums. By that, what I mean is you get 1 to 3 Gobblegums every like what 10 rounds in this game. Imagine you see 3 gums awarded, and 2 of them are these: Newtonian Negation and Indigestion. Indigestion doesn't even work half the time. I can't hear the farts. And then Newtonian, like, these are Whimsicals, you know. Why are these not just infinite use placeholder Gobblegums, you know? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, those 2 gums that were these could have been a Who's Keeping Score. It could have been even a Temporal Gift. I'll take a Temporal Gift. I'll take an Arsenal Accelerator. I'll take a I'll take a Respin Cycle, you know? I think these need to just be made into classics, you know, like infinite use. They need to be removed from the loot pool, and you can just put these on whenever you want. You might disagree with these placements, and honestly, I sometimes find that I disagree with them myself after the fact. This game has incredibly complex and interworking systems like these gums that change based on multiple variables and playstyles. If you have something to add to this conversation, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll read them and take them into consideration for when new gums get added by the end of the season. That's about it. See ya.